Working with electricity is dangerous. This video is an example of what we've done. Read the disclaimer carefully before you continue.
Okay, the box that we're going to start with is the breaker box for the battery that will feed eventually into the inverter. Now I've got a wiring diagram of exactly what needs to be done. I'll post this on the web so you can see exactly what needs to be done. So what we're going to work on today is we're going to do this part here. So we're going to fit the isolator switch. We're going to fit a fuse, 100 amp fuse, and we're going to fit a lightning arrestor, all in the battery breaker box. Okay, and here's the switches that are going to go into the breaker box. I've got two 100 amp breakers. I've pinned them together so if the one moves, the other one moves with it. That means I can completely isolate the batteries from the inverter. Next to it, this is a fuse holder with a 100 amp fuse. If you open it, you'll see there's a massive fuse inside. And then finally the lightning arrestor. So that just helps that if there is a lightning strike, the metal oxide varistors inside the lightning arrestor will make sure the strike goes to earth. Doesn't matter if it's on live or on battery positive or battery negative, it will always go to ground and protect the rest of the circuit. I've already started wiring, so you can see here the fuse box. So my positive wire will go into the fuse, comes out of the fuse, positive wire comes into the breaker, negative wire will come into the breaker here, and on top my positive and negative 24 volt from the batteries will go to the inverter. Okay, so any one of these devices that I'm going to fit into the breaker boxes is mountable on a DIN rail, and that's that little metal rail at the back there. How it basically works is it hooks in on this side, and on this side there's a little pin. So you hook it over the rail, and then you push this up, and it basically locks into place. Okay, so let's fit something on a DIN rail. So first of all, make sure it hooks properly on the top end of the rail, push it down, and then push the clip into place. And there we go, it's fitted on the rail. Now you'll see it's not tight. All of these will be held in place once I put the cover of the breaker box in. So that will keep everything tight and neat. So what I need to do now is I need to get my positive in to my fuse, my negative to the breaker, and then on top my positive and my negative out to the inverter. On the lightning protector, we basically there's three little wires. One goes to earth, one goes to neutral, and one goes to live. So this is obviously made for an AC circuit, but it will work equally well in a DC circuit. So what I'm going to do is the earth one still goes to earth, the live one I'll put to positive, and the neutral one I'll put to negative. Okay, so I've already made two wires. This will connect to the battery negative, that will connect to the battery positive. You can see I put some red shrink tubing over the one conductor just so that I know which one I'm busy working with, and then I've already stripped the other end that will go into, for the negative one will go into the breaker, and for the positive one into the fuse. Okay, so there's the battery breaker box fully wired. You can see the two thick conductors running to the top, which goes to the inverter, a thick conductor coming from the fuse box, so that's our positive. There's a thick conductor at the bottom going directly into the breaker set. So it's 200 amp switches that I've interconnected as a full breaker, and we've connected the surge protector to the positive and negative, and then also there's an earth wire running to the earth spike that I showed you previously. And finally, all closed up, labeled, and ready to go. Well, that part of the circuit.